We're live now.
We can't hear you, Jimmy. Jimmy, we can't hear you.
Jimmy is not there.
Yes, sir. Very much.
Oh, he's admin. Okay.
Uncle, it's 6 p.m.
For prayer, Janice, can you do the prayer, please?
Avtar Meher Baba Kijiye. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end. Avtar Meher Baba Kijiye. Avtar Meher Baba Kijiye. Avtar Meher Baba Kijiye.
Thank you, Baba. I would personally like to invite our one and only Lord Meher Baba to come and join us for this meeting and also take over the entire proceedings of this meeting. One thing I'd like to tell all of us gathered around here is कि ये मीटिंग के दरमियान during this meeting दुनियादारी की जंजाल सब कुछ छोड़ के keep your mind focused on him and him alone, because that is the main reason why we gather here. दुनियादारी की जंजालें तो चलती ही रहने वाली है. Baba wants us to be in the world but not of it, and that is what it's all about. Okay, today our one and only Mr. Jimmy Khan will be continuing about the Manzil Meem days, and I'd like you all to listen very carefully to all that he has to say, because Manzil Meem was the kind of training foundation for most of the men who lived with Baba. I was fortunate enough to meet one gentleman who was from Manzil Meem days, and he used to tell us that in those days Baba was so jalali. Jalali यानी कि he was so hot-headed कि जो भी सामने मिलता था फटाक से पकड़ के हम लोग पे फेंकते थे, मारते थे. All these things used to happen during these Manzil Meem days. So we are very fortunate कि हम लोग safely in our own homes, computer के सामने या at the center, and nobody is going to throw anything at us. But the bitter sweet memories of these people will always linger on. That is what I'm trying to emphasize. Jimmy, are you there and are you ready? Janice?
Can you hear me, Sam?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just speak a bit louder. That's all. We can hear you, but very faint.
Once.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear.
Is it good enough?
Yes, sir.
Jai Baba, everyone, and happy to join again. We left maybe last month at a certain point, and I would like to continue as Sam
A
said.
bit louder, Jimmy, if possible, please.
As Sam said, this was a very interesting period in Baba's life, in the boy's life? No, not yet. Sam, not yet.
Uncle, you have the earphones. You can use your earphones. Maybe it'll be better.
Uh, Can you hear me now? Hello.
We can hear you, Uncle. Still a little faint. Is the volume full on your?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Uncle. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
We can hear you, Uncle, but your voice is very low. The volume, if you can increase
One
the device volume.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Better.
better.
Okay. Okay.
This is much better, Uncle.
Okay. So,
We can't see you.
am I good enough to be seen? I didn't know that.
Of course,
Okay.
Yes.
the ladies here are eagerly waiting for your darshan.
Okay. Enough.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So, as Sam was saying, this is this particular 10 months of Baba's advent was very interesting in the sense the boys, I will always use the word boys because at that time there was no concept of mandli, and even Baba had not referred to the boys as the mandli and or men mandli or whatever. Secondly, these boys were in their 20s. Some of them were in their 30s, but other were in their maybe late 20s. So that is the reason why I call them boys and not the men mandli. Just let me give a very brief of what I had said initially about Manzil Meem was that Baba was at Ferguson Road. He was at Pune and he wanted to shift the base from Pune to Mumbai. So he told his arrangement walas, well, there was no concept of arrangement walas in those days, but whatever it is what, he told his guys to look for a place where he can go and stay with the boys. So they scouted around and finally they came to Dada Ridge, today what we call Dada Ridge, very close to the railway tracks. And they found a mansion like a place which was unused, unoccupied. And the owner of this place was okay. Now let me give you a look at this building. This was Manzil Meem. Just tell me if you can see it, please, because I want to know. Can you see it?
No,
No,
I
Uncle.
I can't, Jimmy.
Nobody can.
Actually, I can't see your video at all, Uncle.
No, but one sec. I thought video was on.
Is it the same for all? If someone can let me know. Is anybody able to see Jimmy, Uncle?
No, I'm not. It's parent
Okay.
from Toronto.
Okay.
I'm
No.
sorry.
So, Uncle, when you connected the earphones, the video went off.
Now, 1 second. Okay, now.
Back. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Great. Thank you,
Okay,
Jai Baba.
I want to show you Manzil Meem photo because it's an interesting structure per se itself. I think I dropped the page. Anyway, let's carry on. So Manzil Meem was hired from this Muslim gentleman, and it was hired for a year. And we are talking about exactly 100 years ago. This happened in 1921-22, around that time. And this was leased for 1 year for 300 rupees per annum. But Baba didn't eventually stay for 1 year. He stayed only for 10 months. But that's not very relevant right now. So Baba and the boys started walking from Pune, and they eventually landed at Manzil. Last part, I think from certain area to Bombay, they traveled by train. So long and short, that is how they came. Now, in front of this structure, there was a compound. It was a gated thing. In front of the structure, there was a compound, and behind the structure was also a compound. And they straightened it, they cleaned it up, they had rollers, and they made it usable kind of. And the compound at the back was used for playing games. Baba was very active, and so were the young boys, and there were a lot of outdoor games that were played. So the backyard was used for playing games. So let's begin. Now, some might get the idea that though the living was very frugal, it was not like a prison, and the boys were not kept as prisoners as well. And sometimes they had good times also, in the sense that if there was someone's birthday was celebrated, and sometimes the boys had good things to eat. Well, very surprising, but true. And I'll read out what they ate at times, I suppose. And I presume some Baba lovers brought for Baba as prasad. And there were souvenirs and sweets and cakes and pastries and biscuits and dry fruits. So they had reasonably good time also. And because they were young, they played games in the evenings, etc. I told you about Masaji. Masaji was Baba's own Masaji, Rustam. He was a cook. He was a professional cook, and he had not moved with Baba to Bombay. He was working as a cook at Komarani Agyari. Everybody knows Komarani Agyari at Pune. So he was a cook there. But after a while, he leaves his job. He left the job and he started walking. I repeat, he started walking from Pune to Bombay. He walked all the way. I presume he was in his 60s at that time. And he was the eldest person to be with Baba at Manzil. So he walked from Pune to Manzil in Bombay. And he joined Baba as a cook. And before that, Gustadji was preparing the breakfast for the boys. So you might refer to Gustadji as doing tea and breakfast for boys. So after Masaji came, he took over as the head cook, but Baba gave him another Irani man as an assistant or a deputy cook or assistant cook. And there were two other boys who were given to him as assistants. You know, as we say in Gujarati, kap cook karwano, preparing, etc., cleaning things, etc. So there were 4 of them, and they were catering to this 30, 40 of them. But I've also read that there was a Hindu gentleman, I forget his name, who was cooking for the Hindus. You know, we are talking about 100 years ago. And 100 years ago was 100 years ago. There was a lot of orthodoxy, and the Hindus would not like their food to be cooked by the same guy. Their food could be cooked in the same utensils, in the same kitchen. So there was another guy who cooked for the Hindus. So that is as far as cooking is concerned. There was a dhobi called Kashinat, and this Kashinat had this habit of either exchange. He was a public kind of dhobi, so he would mix up clothes at times. He would bring somebody else's clothes to Manzil. At times he would miss out on bringing clothes. So Baba got very upset with him and said that, look, I'm giving you a warning. Now see that it doesn't happen. Whatever clothes are given to you, you should bring them and you should not exchange with somebody else's who is an outsider. Make sure of that. But in our days also, this used to happen. We used to get somebody else's clothes and we would not get clothes that we had given. Instead of 5 shirts, only 4 shirts would come. So this used to happen during Baba's time also. So finally, Baba told him that, look, this is not how it will work. Can you stay here and can you do only our work? I will give you 50 rupees a month. Now, Kashinath agreed to this, and he was given a kholi in the backyard somewhere where he started staying, and he did only the Manzil work. He stopped the outside work. So now there is another story about Kashinath, but I think I'll avoid talking about it today. So that was Kashinath the Dhobi. Now, we all know that Baba was very strict with the young boys, and the very fact that they were brought to Manzil, Meem, they were brought to Bombay, as Sam said earlier, it was a training ground. The boys were toughened up, they were trained. But in the same breath, I will say that I read that Baba was a lenient in a certain way. Now, what was that certain way in the sense? See, in those days, men and women used to have cigarettes. Not women didn't have cigarettes, but snuff. Snuff was very common. In the early days, 100 years ago, snuff was very common. And they used to carry snuff boxes. It might surprise you to know that Mani Auntie, Baba's sister, was also had snuff. She was carrying snuff bottle, and she would take snuff. It was a done thing with women, men. It was part of living. It was perfectly all right. And when they had cold and cough, that was the time also when they were advised to have snuff, etc. So Baba allowed the boys to have bidis, cigarettes, snuff, tobacco, but there was one condition. The condition was that if you want to have it, if you want to smoke, you have to go outside the compound and smoke, not within the compound. But Baba allowed that. So that's another interesting point to note. There was Khodu Irani. Khodu Irani was a young man, maybe a boy or a young man. And Khodu was brought to Baba by his parents or uncle, aunt. And Khodu had problems with asthma. He would constantly have bouts of asthma. And Baba said, will you do one thing? So this young boy said, I mean, he was not a Baba lover as such. He was Adi Irani's relation, in Adi Irani's relation. So Khodu said, Baba, you tell me and I'll do it. And even the family agreed. So Baba said, will you stay with me here? And well, it was destined. Destiny played its part. And even the parents didn't say anything. They didn't object. Khodu said, yes, Baba, I'll stay with you. So Baba said, bring your trunk and stay with me, stay over here. So that is how Khodu joined Baba, and he stayed with Baba day and night. He was working in a mill. Khodu was working in a mill during the day, and in the evening he would come back and he would stay at the Manzil. And if you know, and most of you do know, that there was no hot water bath. Everybody had to get up early in the morning and have cold water bath. Now, asthma and cold water, they don't go together. In fact, it aggravates asthma. But Khodu started taking cold water bath irrespective of his asthma. And And as it would have it, Baba's working, gradually asthma disappeared. This man became healthy, and for the rest of his life, asthma went off from his system. And he lived with Baba. He lived with Baba. And we constantly hear asthma being referred in Lord Mayor, etc. He became one of the Manlis. Let's say he became one of the Manlis. So that's the asthma's story. Now, let's understand that 100 years back, or maybe now also, I don't know, Dadar was a domain for the Muslims. In fact, this Manzil Meem also this building was owned by a Muslim. So the whole area was a Muslim area. There was a mosque opposite, etc. And these Muslims, these Orthodox Muslims came to know that there's a man staying here in our area who claims to be divine, who claims to be a perfect master, Sadguru, etc., etc. I don't think in those days Baba was called Avatar. In 2021, Baba was not called Avatar. He was called Sri Meher Baba, or he was called Sadguru, etc. So they couldn't take it. This conservative Muslims, they couldn't take it. And they came in hordes at the gate. And they challenged Baba. They said, "Bahar aao, niche aao," all those frenzy. And the boys got very nervous. They ran up to Baba. Baba was housed on the first floor. And they told Baba that, "Baba, please, you jump the wall and you run away. You get out from here. These people have come and they will attack you. They will harm you." So Baba said, "You wait, leave it to me." So Baba gets down from the first floor. He goes at the entrance. He goes at the gate. And he challenges very, very authoritatively, challenges this hardcore Muslims. And Baba says, "Is this how a true Muslim behaves? Is this what Islam teaches you? Is this how you behave as a Muslim?" And Baba started narrating Quran verses relevant to their misbehavior. And very authoritatively, very strongly, Baba narrated in Urdu Quran. And the boys, the Baba's boys were shocked. They were shocked to see that Baba knew Quran and he knew Urdu, and that Baba could recite Urdu verses, Quran verses so fluently. And this Muslim men who were on the other side of that gate, they were shocked. They were kind of terrified. And the manner in which Baba talked to them so strongly, so vehemently, and so aggressively that they literally shook in their pants. And they said, "Maaf karna," something like that. They realized that this man is not a hoax, that this man has something in him. They realized that. So they took his leave and they left. And Baba said, "Why?" Baba told his boys, "Why were you so afraid? Why were you so scared of them? Well, where was the need to be scared of them?" Now, let's see how the tables are turned. This Muslim guys, Muslim gentlemen, they came back to the gate, not the same day, after a few days. And the guy who was paying para, there would always be a para. Para means kind of a security guy. So Baba, those men told the security that, "Please tell Janab," very respectfully, "Please tell Janab that we would like to come and we would like to pay our respects to you. Please give us time." So the message was carried to Baba, and Baba said, "Yes, they can come and see me." So when they came next time, they brought chaddars, and they brought, how the Muslims bring kind of gifts. So they brought all the gifts for Baba, and they were allowed to come in. They went on the first floor. They sat with Baba, And they were very different. This time they were very different. They talked very politely. They talked in very in pleasant language with Baba, Hazur, Hazur, that kind of a thing. And Baba was very receptive to them. And these Muslims, they requested Baba that, Hazur, if you permit, we would like to come and we would like to have a Qawwali program. We would like to have a Ghazal program, if you please permit us. Baba said, you're most welcome, and we can have it at in the backyard. You're most welcome to come. So the backyard was decorated with lightings and whatever you have. And a Ghazal Qawwali program was held at Manzil. So, and they brought sweetmeats, mithai, etc., etc. And it was a good night program. And since then, they started respecting Baba. They came and started visiting Baba, etc., etc. So that's an interesting aspect of how the neighbors behave with Baba. Okay, we talk about Gatta meeting. I don't know if I talked to you about Gatta meeting the last time. If there's a repeat, please someone tell me that, Jimmy, you have already talked about it. Now, this Gatta meeting was what? 1 second, please. Gatta meeting was that everyone got together with Baba and there would be an open house meeting. Now, in this open house meeting, the boys were supposed to be very candid, very honest. Sorry, I thought the video was on. The boys were supposed to be honest, to be very clear about it, and whatever grievances, whatever grouse they had against Baba, against the other boys, against outside, whatever it is, they have to come out. They have to come out. They have to come up and be frank about it, be honest about it, and speak it up. Then a vote would be taken. And if the majority said X, X should happen. But there was a sub-clause. There was a rider. And the rider was that if Baba felt that this is not it or this is not right, Baba had a veto. For those who know veto, veto means someone had the final word. That's called the veto. So Baba had a veto, and what he eventually said prevailed. So normally the majority would win and that would be carried. But if Baba felt that, no, this is not the right thing, then Baba's veto would prevail. So this is how it went. This is how it worked. But there always also freedom where if someone wanted to privately talk to Baba, that was also done. I repeat, that was also done. He could take time with Baba, or he could just say, Baba, I want to see you. There's something that I would like to talk to you privately. And Baba would entertain that. Baba would say, okay, go ahead, tell me, what is it? And Baba would explain to him the right path. If X felt that either he's being misjudged or whatever it is, Baba would bring kind of rational to this boy or to this man and explain to him the why part. So why we are doing this, why at Manzil we are following this pattern, etc. So that also happened. Yes, one of the strict orders was the language. Baba did not allow anyone to be abusive. You can get excited, you can get mad. That was kind of tolerated. But vulgar language, I repeat, vulgar language and abusive language, heated argument, getting physical, all the things were not entertained. Baba was very strict about it. There has to be certain code of conduct. And you have to behave See, we are all humans and young boys have hot blood. We all understand that. Baba understood that. Being God, he understood that. He carried that, but he laid a limit. Beyond that limit, you could not exceed. So that was with Baba. Oh, the other thing was whatever happened outside, you do not come and discuss within the presence of Manzil Meem. That was one of the orders. What happened outside remains outside. What happened within remains within. Whatever happened within, you do not go and talk outside. That was the code of conduct that had to be followed. Okay, I think I did mention last time that these young boys 24/7, they did not stay in Manzil Meem. One of the orders was that you can leave Manzil Meem after 7 in the morning, and by 7 p.m., by 7 in the evening, you have to be within the compound limit of Manzil Meem. You can't come late, and you cannot leave prior to 7 in the morning. So that was one of the orders which the boys had to follow. Yeah. So where did they go to work if they were sent out to work? Now, some of these young boys, and I read it to you, some were motor mechanics. You know, Saroj Irani, Adi Irani's first cousin. Saroj had, in the later days, Saroj had motor works. You know that. But his foundation was laid prior to Manzil Meem days also. He was working as a mechanic. So Saroj had this knowledge about cars. So Baba sent him as a mechanic at a car workshop. Then there was a typist. There was someone who knew typing, shorthand typing. So he was sent to an office to work as a stenotypist. One was a homeopath. We know Dr. Ghani was a homeopath. So Baba opened a homeopathic dispensary for him. So he acted as he ran a dispensary. There were some who are machine workers, who were good with machines. So Baba opened for them a chakki, atani chakki, flour mill. So they worked at a flour mill. So these boys were placed with whatever trade they had. And some were at Manzil Meem, like the cooks and the others, and they were writing. Now, what were they writing? Baba said that we should write a biography of Upasni Maharaj. So Beli knew Gujarati. There was someone others who knew Marathi. Muslims knew Urdu. And Beli, to scout around Upasni's life, Beli would go to Sakori, he would go to Pune, he would go to other places to gather material, to gather data, to write Upasni's biography. And Beli wrote it in Gujarati, then others translated into Marathi, Urdu, etc. Now, finally, it fell in place. The biography fell in place. Now, there should be someone to edit this. You need someone to edit the works because Beli was a raw material and he had raw material with him. So he just wrote in his own Gujarati. But you need someone talented, someone who knew better Gujarati, someone who had this flair for writing. So Baba sent Rustam. Rustam was Adi Irani's elder brother, Rustam Irani, Khosrow's son, and Beli to go to Navsari, to go to Soma Desai. Soma Desai was a very well-known writer. He was an accomplished writer. He used to write books, etc., articles. So sent these two guys to Navsari and said that Mir Baba has sent us and he has ordered you to edit this book. And now please understand that this is human nature. I'm talking about human nature. If you're a smart guy, if you have achieved a level of intelligence or whatever it is, either physical or mental, you have ego attached to you. It's natural, nothing bad about it. It becomes natural. So naturally, Soma Desai, being a well-known man, well-respected man in Navsari and outside, naturally also he must have had his ego. So the moment he heard that Mir Baba has sent us and this is Upasri Maharaj's biography and he has ordered you to, mind you, the word is ordered. He has ordered you to edit this book. Now, Soma Desai didn't know Mir Baba. He had not heard of Mir Baba. He didn't know who Mir Baba was. We are talking about 1920, 21. So these are his wordings, and I'm reading verbatim to you. Please give me a second. Yeah, I'm reading. Please listen. He's telling Rustam and Bailey, who is this Mir Baba to order me to edit his work? I repeat, who is this Mir Baba to order me to edit his work? I am no one's servant, he said. I am no one's servant. Besides, I have no time for such work. Tell Mir Baba I cannot help him. This is what this gentleman tells Bailey and Rustam. Then he also said at another time, then what happened? This Bailey and Rustam, they go back to Bombay. They tell Baba that these are his very words. They say, who is this man, Baba? How dare he order me to do this work? So Baba says, then Baba sends only Bailey for the second time and says, tell Soma Desai that Mir Baba has sent me with an order for the second time to edit this work. Go and tell him for the second time. So Soma Desai was sitting on the veranda. In those days, every house had a veranda. So he was sitting on the veranda. He saw Bailey coming. So he sprang up like a jack and he said, how dare you come again? How dare you come again? How dare Mir Baba send you? Bailey said, please listen. Mir Baba has sent me for the second time and he has asked you to edit this work and you will do it. And I'm leaving it over here. So he got very upset. He got very mad. He said, I'll throw this work outside and you'll have to pick it up from the ground and get out from here. So he was very mad. Soma Desai was very mad. How dare this Mir Baba tell me to order me to do this work? So Bailey goes back and he tells Baba what happened. Baba says, go again. Go again and tell him that Huma has sent me. Huma has sent me and Huma has asked me to this work, to edit this work for him. Now, see, Bailey had to obey. Whatever happens, even if he's insulted twice, he had no option. Bailey had no option. So Bailey had to go to Navsari. Bailey had to go to Soma Desai's house. And naturally, again, Soma Desai sprang up and Bailey said, please, we respect you. Please calm down. Huma has sent me. Huma has requested you to do this work. The moment Soma Desai heard the word Huma, he melted away. Huma melted away. So I beg your pardon. Soma Desai melted away and he said, Huma has sent you. So Bailey said, yes, Mir Baba is Huma. Now let me give it a background. Baba was good with his pen. Everybody knows. He used to write poems. He used to write ghazals. And not only he would write, he would post them to Kaisar-e-Hind. He would post them to Jame Jamshed. And these poems, these ghazals would be printed, very happily printed, with the Takallus Huma. Takallus means pen name Huma. Baba never had disclosed his identity as Mirwan Shriar Irani. He only had said he only would write Huma. So and Soma Desai, being a very good writer himself, he was so pleased with this thoughts and with this deep meaning that underlined the ghazals and this poetries, that he was very pleased, and he had this desire within him to see who this Huma is. Who is this Huma? So the moment he heard that Mer Baba is Huma, he very reverently said, please tell Baba that I always wanted to meet you, always wanted to see you, and I will do his work. So this is how the tables were turned, and Soma Desai accepted this works of biography of Sakurina Sadguru. So that's the story. So we go back. Yeah, I don't think I narrated this story last time. I'm running out of time. When the boys went out, they were not supposed to talk to anyone outside, relatives or friends or anyone. They were debarred. Now, Saros Irani was traveling by train, and his school chum met him in the train and said, hey, Saros, Kemche. Now, Saros had to turn his face. He had to turn his face. He looked outside the window, and his friend was aghast. Saros, XYZ, Après school, après class, we were together in the class, we were in the school, so and so school, and Saros behaved as if he didn't know. Then he came and told Baba that Baba was very ashamed. I had to just turn my face as if I didn't know him. Baba said, write him a letter and call him. So somehow this Saros had this guy's address, so he wrote to him and he said that I'm with Mer Baba and Mer Baba would like to see you come. So then he became a regular, this guy became a regular, and he came to Manzil and he met Baba. So indirectly through this guy got to meet Meher Baba. Now, the Parsis, in those days, the Parsis were sent to Agyari, the Muslims were sent to mosque, the Hindus were sent to temple. Baba would tell the Hindus, Ajay Ekadashi, Mandira Nathi Jato, you're not going to the temple, today's Ekadashi. And he would tell the Muslims, today's Friday, Jummah, you're not going to the mosque. Now, these guys are playing games. They are very excited. They are all excited playing games. And the middle of the game, they would tell, Baba would tell them, you're not going to mosque, you're not going to Agyari. Now, they are young boys, so they want to enjoy game. They want to enjoy cricket and attapata and whatnot. So Baba was the best psychologist on earth. If Baba had said that you will not go anywhere, you will be here only, they would have revolted. That how can I not do kasti? How can I not do namaz? How can I not go to the temple and ring the temple bells? So Baba was the best psychologist. So he let them loose. He gave them a long rope. We call it the long rope. He said he encouraged them to go. He encouraged them to go. And gradually they understood, they realized. They were very immature young boys. But over time they realized that Meher Baba is the final word. So that's very interesting. Now, to Manzil Meem, Baba would tell boys to bring lepers, to bring poor people, to bring ailing people, handicapped people, and they were bathed there, they were shaved there, they were cleaned up, etc., etc. So that activity started from Manzil Meem. Yeah, once Masaji, I told you earlier, Masaji was a cook, and Masaji was told to keep some leftovers because Baba said, I feel hungry in the middle of the night. I feel hungry at any time. So please keep some food for me. And Masaji said, okay, Baba, I'll do it and I'll keep. So Masaji started keeping some food, some leftovers for Baba. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks. Baba never asked for it. Baba never ate. So Masaji discontinued this practice of keeping the leftovers that Merwanto ke khato nathi, so Baba ke khata nathi. So he stopped it. But one day Baba said, I'm very hungry, get me the food. And Masaji said, sorry, Baba, I stopped keeping food for you because you never ate. I've stopped it. So Baba berated him. I am using the word, Baba berated him. He was Baba's, you can say, blood massa. In spite of that fact, Baba was Baba. He never spared his sister. He never spared his brothers. He never spared his mother. I'm sorry to say, but this is it. This is it. He never spared his mother. You know, you have read Baba's works, so you all know this. I'm not saying anything new. So Baba berated his Masa that how can you disobey me? From now onwards, whether I do thing or not do thing, you will just obey me blindly. So this is one of the stories. Yes, there were some who were married men who had left their family and who had joined Manzil and Meem. So Baba made sure that every month money order was sent to their families for their upkeep because the men were with Baba. And Baba would ask the man, did your family get the money order? Have you checked with them? Did they get the money order? So in that sense, Baba was particular to see that the family did not go hungry. Then one day, Baba went to his Masa, Kekasru Masa's house. They were also staying at Dadar, so he walked up to their house and they all jumped up. The wife, the daughter, they all jumped up and said, Baba aya, Baba aya, Baba aya. And Baba said, Beso, Beso. And he sat with them for some time. And there was a young school-going girl. And he told the girl that before you go to school, you must come to Manzil and meet me. And then from there, you go to school. They were staying at Dadar. Baba was staying at Dadar. The school was at Dadar. So Baba said, meet me in the morning and then go to school. And Baba left a word to tell Kekasru Mama, who was at work, that tell Kekasru Mama that in the evening, after he closes his shop or work or whatever it is, in the evening to come to Manzil every evening to meet me and then go to his house. So this is what Kekasru Masa did. This is what a young girl did. They would daily come to Manzil and meet Baba. Yes, there was this guy called Rustam Jafrabadi. He was in the Mandli. And there was a period when Baba said, you guys write. Whatever comes to your heart, whatever comes to your mind, poetry, prose, just write. Be poetic, be creative, and write something. So everybody wrote to their talents or to their capabilities. Now, Rustam Jafrabadi, he thought he was the best in business. So he would write. He would write nonsense, but he would write. And, you know, Baba being Baba, and everyone was supposed to read in the evening what they wrote. And Baba being Baba, Baba would charav him, and Baba would say, wow, my God, wow, wow, lovely, great, great. And naturally, if Baba said great, the other guys also have to join the bandwagon and say, Are Rustam, too good, Rustam, too good, Are Jafrabadi, too good. And he would get pumped up, and he would write. And we know the rest of the stories. Then Baba said, he's writing so good that we should give him a takulus. Takulus means a pen name. So, and Baba said, can you suggest what name we should give? And everybody said X, Y, Z. And someone suggested Baidul. Now, Baidul was a Persian poet, renowned poet. He would write ghazals, poems, etc., Persian poet. So someone suggested, Baba, we should give him that Takalus of Baidul. Baba said, Baidul is no comparison to this guy. We should give him something higher than Baidul. So what do we do? So we'll call him Aga Baidul. So from that day onwards, he became Aga Baidul. We have read a lot about Aga Baidul, Aga Baidul. We have seen so many plays about Aga Baidul. I got only 11 minutes left. So
Doesn't matter to me, you can carry on.
that's how it went. So he became Aga Baidul. Yeah. I told you that Masaji stayed with Baba. Now, Masaji's daughter Naja went to Quetta. They had relations in Quetta, and her brother, who was later called Pendu, Aspandyar. Aspandyar had gone, after his mother's death, Aspandyar had gone to Quetta to work with his uncle in his store. So, and Aspandyar didn't know much about what's happening in India. Well, Quetta, in Afghanistan, today's, I think, Afghanistan, and or maybe Western Pakistan.
It's
So-
still in Pakistan.
Western Pakistan, yes.
Yeah.
So, northwest frontier. So Naja goes to Quetta and tells the brother that Aspandyar, do you know that Baba has moved his base from Pune to Mumbai and is staying at a place called Manzil, Meem, and you should go and be with Baba. So Aspandyar says, but I'm committed here. I can't just sleep like this. And I've got so many responsibilities. And Aspandyar was wanting to start his own business, his own store.
Jimmy, speak up a bit louder, please.
Sorry. Aspandyar, please tell me. Aspandyar wanting to start his own business in Quetta. And here his sister Naja says that you should go and join Baba because daddy is also, Papa is also with Baba. And Aspandyar said that, how can I live? I want to start my own business. Now, ittifaq say it so happened. Please give me 1 second. I'm sorry, it gets very cold over here. So, ittifaq say it so happened that this uncle of his made a long list of things to be brought from Bombay. You know, in those days, Quetta was one horse town when nothing was available. So if a trader or a storekeeper wanted to sell things, he had to get this first. And Bombay was the place to get. So he makes a very long list and he gives it to Aspandyar and tells him to go to Bombay with a weight of notes and money and says, go and get all this stuff from Mumbai and Bombay and come back. In those days, Bombay. So Aspandyar comes to Bombay. Naturally, he knew where Baba was staying. Naja had told him that he lives on the other east, a place called Manzil. Now, again, it so happened that Masaji was holding the post. He was at the gate. He was at the gate, and the order was that if anyone came, he should not be entertained. And if any outsider came, he or she should not be entertained. Only those who were invited by Baba, only those who were called by Baba, the outsiders, like this Kekasru Masa and the daughter, only they can come in, others cannot come in, should not be allowed to come in. Now Masaji has a gate. He sees his own son Aspandyar coming. And a father is a father. Normally a father would greet his son, he would hug his son, he would cry. But Masaji turned his face. He didn't look at Aspandyar. Then he goes up, he tells Baba that Baba Aspandyar has come. Baba said, send him in. So he goes to the gate, he opens the gate. I'm sure he must have given him a big hug. They must have cried because he sees his son after so many months maybe more than a year, who knows. So then Aspandyar was sent up to Baba, and Baba greets him, Baba welcomes him and says, what are your plans? What are you going to do? So Aspandyar says, Baba, this is the reason why I've come to Bombay, and I'll make the purchases. I'll buy all the goods from Mumbai's markets and I'll go back because this is why I've come. Baba says, I want you to stay back. Aspandyar said, Baba, I have a commitment. I have a commitment. Uncle has sent me with his list and he has given me lots of money, pots of money. I'm supposed to buy all these things and take it back. Baba said, you have come with a guy, right? You have come with an assistant. Aspandyar said, yes, Baba, I've come with him. Baba said, give the list to him. Please tell me if I'm not heard. Please do tell me. Baba said, give the list to him. Give all the money to him. Tell him you can guide him where to go, where to buy, and tell him to take it and go. You stay back. Aspandyar listened to Baba and he stayed back. So that is how the father and son stayed back with Baba. Sam, tell me when to stop.
Carry on, Jimmy.
Yeah. Occasionally, the men were allowed to go and see movies. They are allowed to see plays. In
Hello, voice.
those days,
Ah.
there would be a lot of plays, Gujarati plays and whatever. That was the pattern. So Baba would let them go to plays and let them see movies. It was not all jail, that kind of a thing. Give me a minute, please. Yes. In Manzil, Meem, see,
Sound.
Baba was a hands down person.
Sound.
Baba, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. Baba was a hands down person. And in Manzil, Meem,
Lost you again.
sorry,
Please stick to your mic. Otherwise, we'll lose you.
Baba was a hands down man.
No, not yet.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Hello. Hello.
Louder.
I'm sorry. Hello. Hello.
No.
Hello. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's come now.
No.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Not yet.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Uncle, can you unplug your phone and plug it in again?
Hello. Hello.
Not yet, Uncle.
No, I can't be heard.
Now you can.
Hello.
You
Hello.
can. Heard now.
Okay. Okay. So as I said, Baba was a hands down person. And in Manzil Meem, in those days, there used to be open gutters. Those who are old timers will know that there were open gutters, even in Mumbai. So Baba would himself, with the help of another guy, would clean the gutters also. The idea was to show, am I being heard? Yeah. The outside was to show that this is how we work. And all the avatars did that. All the saintly persons did that. They were hands down person to show to his lovers and to followers that this is how it is done. He was not just ordering. Yeah, one day a man came and he told he told Baba that I want to ask you some questions. So Baba gave one slate to that man, and he held another slate. And Baba said, "Don't talk to me, don't ask me verbally. Start writing your questions." So this man started writing his questions, and Baba with a slate in his hand, he started at the same time simultaneously answering that man. And when that man finished this question, Baba exchanged the slates. And this man was flabbergasted that before I could exchange or before Baba could read the question, Baba had already given the answer to him. So this went on for quite some time. And this man said, "Sorry, I have nothing to ask you. You seem to have all the questions." Now one day a man wrote a letter to Baba at Manzil Meem asking for something, whatever it was. The same day, this man receives reply through a letter the same day. He opens and he's dumbfounded. He can't believe that I've just posted the letter and I got the reply. So this is okay. But one last, Sam, give me a minute. One last story, very interesting story of one Hirjibai. Sorry, two stories, but I'll be very quick. One Hirjibai came to Baba and he was an engineer by profession. I hope we have an engineer in the audience to hear this. Uh, and Baba called everybody to listen to this Hirjibai story. So Hirjibai said that I'm an engineer by profession and I had a very good job. I was earning very well. And at the same time, he got into spirituality. And he must have had some spiritual background in his last life. So he picked up spirituality. He kind of became, he could read the past, he could read the present, he could read the future, etc. So he started indulging in cotton trading. You know, older guys will know. You know, in the later years, we had this matka business, race horse, etc. And he started telling people about future and started making money. He started into gambling in a big way. He realized that he was making more money doing this stuff. So he left his job, a very lucrative job. He left his job and he started doing this business. Unfortunately, yes, but it has its end also. Gradually, he realized that he was losing his powers. Always, when you misuse your powers, you always are bound to lose. He started losing his powers. He started failing. Whatever predictions he made, he lost those predictions. Whatever gambling he did, he lost horribly in the gambling. And he was at odds and ends. He didn't know how to live his life because he had left his job. He couldn't go back to his job. And he bitterly cried to Baba. He bitterly cried to Baba that, "Baba, please help me. Baba, please save me. Baba, please give me my powers back," etc. And the boys were hearing all this. Baba brought all the boys together to hear this man and to hear this man's story. In the Lord Mayor, a lot is given as to what he tells Baba. And It's very fascinating to read, but give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. It's already 4:04. Yeah, I'll read it to you. I'm not reading the first part. I'm reading the second part. At first, the gambling became extremely lucrative, and I did not find it necessary to continue working as an engineer. So I left it and paid more and more attention to this new business. He calls it the business because it was a business. To my utter horror, into bracket, he started bitterly sobbing, bracket over. I soon found that the divine gift had vanished. Naturally, it would vanish. Now, despite my best efforts, I am unable to regain the state. I cried day and night in vain, but there is no response from him into capital. Leaving aside a mercenary benefit I derived, which I no longer care about, I will never indulge in again. He repents and he says that I will never indulge in again. I really cannot describe the intense joy and bliss I felt while in the intimate communion with him. By him, he is meaning Mer Baba. He's addressing the boys. He's addressing the boys and he's telling the boys that I cannot describe the immense joy and bliss I felt while I was in intimate communion with him. Then the last para says, although I have lost the treasure of foreknowledge, he calls it the foreknowledge, which is the right word. I lost the treasure of foreknowledge. I can still feel and perceive the things unseen and unfelt by ordinary human beings. So he was still perceiving those things. It had not completely left him, but he says that I still feel it. Hence, I need no introduction and explanation about Meher Baba. He says, I don't want introduction of Meher Baba. He's meeting him for the first time, but he still says that I don't need, because of this divine gift I have, I don't need any introduction of Meher Baba from you. I need no introduction or explanation about Meher Baba, in whom I find the greatest manifestation of divinity. In whom I find the greatest manifestation of divinity. I firmly believe that Meher Baba can restore my lost treasure to me in the twinkling of an eye, if he so wishes. In the twinkling of an eye, if he so wishes. He is so great. He said, he ended saying, he is so great. And there's a story about Khak Sahib and Nawal Talati, but it is 707. So I'll skip that story. And that is the end. Please pardon the disturbances. And thank you so much. Sam, please take over. Jai Meher Baba.
Jimmy, you may carry on for a little more.
No, Sam, no.
Then,
Let's call it a day.
okay. Do you mind if I narrate one or two incidents of Manzil Meem, or shall we?
Please, that is, you are the boss. You are the boss.
Okay, the first
Sam, uncle, can you start your video?
story.
Video's off.
Hello.
Uncle, your video's off.
It's about the Dhobi, which Jimmy had mentioned. And it so happened that Baba and most of the men had left Manzil Meem for a short time. And before leaving, Baba had strictly warned this Dhobi not to indulge in any immoral acts. But this Dhobi was a champion and he had a fling with the maid. And when Baba came back, it came to light, and when Baba heard about it, he was very, very upset. And very shortly, that Dhobi developed leprosy. All things started coming all over his body. And the Dhobi didn't know what to do. Finally, he came back to Baba and asked for forgiveness. So this was one incident which came to my mind. I'm just cutting short the details and just going through it. The second incident was this Muslim people in that area. There was what do you call the head of the Mullah ji? Mullah. He used to stay across the road, and every morning after he would finish performing the namaz, if we were to have a look at the Manzil Meem, on the top of that roof, he would see some sort of a divine light all the time. And the man really felt that there is some great hasti yahan pe rehti hai. So he came and paid his respects, etc., etc. The third incident was one day, a little late in the evening around this time, a white dove flew into Baba's window sill. The white dove came and sat at the windowsill. Baba very gently picked him up, put him on his lap, and started caressing it. And this went on and on for quite a long time. And after that, whatever that period was, it was over. That pigeon, that dove, put his head down and died. And next morning, Baba called all his boys around and explained to them what this was all about. And Baba said, this pigeon, the dove, had come from Hazrat Baba Jan with a very important message. The message was so heavy that it could not take the load. And as soon as it was delivered, this pigeon passed away. Baba lovingly wrapped him up in a cloth, had a had a pit dug and buried him and paid his last respects. And he even wrote a small couplet over this pigeon's this thing. So these are the few things about Manzil Meem that came to my mind during this conversation. I'm sorry we have to leave now. So Jimmy, will you be continuing next time, you think? Before we let you go, let's take a commitment.
I'm through.
Aji?
I'm through.
Oh,
I'm through. Maybe some other subject, but I'm through with this.
oh, okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And I hope कि this time spent remembering Manzil and Meem, remembering Baba actually, and realizing his divinity, उनकी जो रूहानियत थी, उनकी जो पर्सनालिटी थी, उनकी जो डिविनिटी थी, वो हमेशा, however much he tried to hide it, हमेशा निकल के आ जाती थी. And those who had the eyes for it could always make out and always paid their respects. So उसी के साथ हम बाबा की याद में अब प्रेयर वगैरह करेंगे. प्रेयर के बाद 1 मिनट का मौन रहेगा और उसके बाद हम डिस्पर्स होंगे. थैंक यू एवरीबॉडी एंड जय बाबा.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. हे परवरदिगार, सबके राखनहार और सबकी रक्षा करने वाले, तुम्हारा कोई आदि नहीं है और न तुम्हारा कोई अंत है. तुम अद्वैत हो, तुम तुलना से परे हो और तुम्हारा पार कोई नहीं पा सकता है. तुम्हारा कोई रंग और कोई रूप नहीं है. तुम आविर्भाव से रहित हो और तुम गुणातीत हो. तुम अपार हो और अगाध हो, कल्पना और धारणा से परे हो, शाश्वत और अनश्वर हो. तुम अखंडनीय हो और दिव्य नेत्रों के सिवाय और किसी भी प्रकार से तुम्हें कोई नहीं देख सकता है. तुम्हारा अस्तित्व सदैव था, तुम सदैव रहते हो और तुम सदैव रहोगे. तुम सर्वत्र हो, तुम हर वस्तु में हो और तुम हर जगह से परे तथा हर वस्तु से परे भी हो. तुम आकाश में हो और पाताल में हो. तुम व्यक्त हो और अव्यक्त हो. तुम सब लोकों पर हो और समस्त लोकों से परे हो. तुम तीनों भुवनों में हो और तीनों भुवनों से परे भी हो. तुम अगोचर हो और स्वतंत्र हो. तुम सृष्टि के रचने वाले हो, स्वामियों के स्वामी हो, समस्त मनों और हृदयों के ज्ञाता हो. तुम सर्वशक्तिमान हो और सर्वव्यापी हो. तुम अनंत ज्ञान हो, अनंत शक्ति हो और अनंत आनंद हो. तुम ज्ञान के महासागर हो, सर्वज्ञ हो, अनंत ज्ञान रखने वाले हो. तुम भूत, वर्तमान और भविष्य के ज्ञाता हो और तुम स्वयं ज्ञान हो. तुम पूर्ण दयामय हो और सदैव हितकारी हो. तुम आत्माओं की आत्मा हो और अनंत गुणों से संपन्न एक परमात्मा हो. तुम सत्य, ज्ञान और परमानंद की त्रिमूर्ति हो. तुम सत्य के मूल हो, प्रेम के महासागर हो. तुम सनातन सत्ता हो, ऊंचों में सबसे ऊंचे हो. तुम प्रभु और परमेश्वर हो. तुम परब्रह्म हो और परात्पर ब्रह्म भी हो. तुम परब्रह्म परमात्मा हो, अल्लाह हो, इलाही हो, अजदान हो, अहुरमज्द हो और प्रियतम ईश्वर हो। तुम्हारा नाम इज्जत अर्थात एकमात्र पूज्य है। हे असीम दया के निधि प्रभुराज, हम अपने सब पापों के लिए पश्चाताप करते हैं। हर एक विचार के लिए जो असत्य, अनुचित या गंदा था, हर एक बोले हुए शब्द के लिए जिसे बोलना हमें उचित न था, और हर एक कर्म के लिए जिसे करना हमें उचित न था। स्वार्थ से प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द तथा विचार के लिए तथा द्वेष प्रेरित हर एक कर्म, शब्द और विचार के लिए हम पश्चाताप करते हैं। विशेषकर हर एक कामुक विचार तथा क्रिया के लिए, ऐसे हर एक वचन के लिए जिसको हमने पूरा नहीं किया, सब असत्य वचनों के लिए और सभी निंदा, पाखंड, दंभ या लोगों के पीछे उनके दोष बताने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। और खासकर दूसरों का नाश करने वाले हर एक कर्म के लिए, दूसरों को दुख देने वाले हर एक शब्द तथा कर्म के लिए तथा दूसरों पर दुख गिरने की इच्छा करने के लिए हम अनुताप करते हैं। हे प्रभुराज, आप हम पर असीम दया करके हमारे किए हुए पापों को क्षमा कीजिए और वैसे ही आपकी मर्जी के अनुसार विचार करने में, बोलने में तथा कार्य करने में जो हमारी असमर्थता सदा रहती आई है, उसको भी क्षमा कीजिए। यही हमारी आपसे प्रार्थना है। प्रियतम परमात्मा, हमारी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम तुझसे अधिक प्रेम करें, और अधिक और अधिक, और फिर भी उससे भी अधिक प्रेम करें, जब तक कि हम तुझ में मिलकर एक हो जाने के पात्र बन जाए। और तू हम सबकी ऐसी सहायता कर कि हम अंत अंत तक प्रियतम बाबा का दामन दृढ़ता से पकड़े रहे। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। पूजावे नारजे लतनी ये कार खुद रात ने फरमातु छेलागी आशा बातों ने के बख्शे नूरे माधु हया शरद खुदाना जात तीरा के पे तू तुझे की तुझे दरी या दत्ता मारे फातनो हो तो फातू हम सामने से या सदन के तुझ पारा मातम ज्ञानी छने मो तारे इरफातु खुदा रे तुझ पर जान सद के साखिया पीर पया मातु हमारी बाबा शैली बातु हमारा ना खुदा बाबा शैली बातु जावे नारज़ दातानी कार खुद रात में फरमातु चलागी आशा बात ने के बख्शे नूरे मातु। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
हुआ लहर से ही है जिसकी सृष्टि का निर्माण, उसकी दैवी अनंतता का कैसे हो अनुमान। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्मा आओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। प्रेम दीप में ही ये जलाऊ, प्रेम दीप में ही ये जलाऊ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊ, निबिड़ अंधेरा मिटता पाऊ। अपना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, ना सब कुछ तुम्हें चढ़ाऊं, तुम मुझको सरसाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। जीवन की हर सांस हमारी, जीवन की हर सांस हमारी बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी, बन जाए प्रभु गति तुम्हारी। हे करुणा कर लीलाधारी, है करुणा कर लीलाधारी, तुम करुणा बरसाओ मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ, मेहर प्रभु आरती अपनाओ। बने आरती जीवन मेरा, बने आरती जीवन मेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, आदि अंत का लय हो घेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, खुले नयन और दिखे सवेरा, तुम मुझ में छा जाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, आदि सचेतन शांति निकेतन, नमो ब्रह्माओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ मेहर प्रभु, आरती अपनाओ। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय, अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। Beloved अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Thank you, everybody. The meeting now concludes. All that I can say while parting is take Baba with you. Take Baba with you. Take Baba with you. Jai Baba.